Good morning, all of you. I hope you all are fine and working sincerely. Okay, so in our previous session, we have discussed about very basic things about computer, like what is computer, what is hardware, what is software, what is the logical structure of computer, what is the physical structure of computer, and so on. Now, today in this chapter, we will discuss few more basic things. The very first things that we are going to start is the unit of computer memory management. Now see, unit of computer memory management. Whenever we store any data in computer, generally the information stored in terms of binary bits, which is either 0 or 1. So we say the smallest unit of memory is actually 0 or 1. Whatever you are storing in computer is actually stored in the combination of these digits. Okay, and these digits are called as bits. So when we talk about unit of memory, the smallest unit of memory is bit. 1 bit is the smallest value. 1 0 is 1 bit of information, 1 1 is 1 bit of information. Okay, if you are writing 1 1 0 1, then this is 4 bit of information. If you are writing 1 1 0 0, then 1 1 1 1, this is your 8 bit of information. This 8 bit of information is called as 1 byte. Okay, so what you have to understand, that combination of 8 bits will make 1 byte of information. Now in this manner only we are increasing the size of memory or size of bits. 1024 bytes or 2 to the power 10 is called as 1 kb, and 1 kb stands for kilobyte. Okay, now remember it is kilobyte. If you want in terms of bits, it will be 1024 multiplied by 8. If you are multiplying it by 8, then it will become bits. Okay, so if you wanted to write in terms of bits, you can say 1024 into 8 bits will be your 1 kilobyte bit of information. Okay, then next is your 1 MB. 1 MB is nothing but 1024 KB. See, actually it is nothing but 1024 of the previous or the predecessor unit. Similarly, and M stands for mega here, so it is megabyte. If you wanted to write for megabits, in that particular case you have to multiply it again by the 8 value, because we know whatever is the byte, in terms of byte we are getting, has to be multiplied by 8 bits. So this will be, if you wanted to write how many bits, so it will be 1024 into 1024 into 8 bits. Okay, then your 1 GB. 1 GB is your 1 gigabyte. It is nothing but 1024 MB. Again the previous one. Similarly, 1 TB. TB stands for terabyte. 1 terabyte is again 1024, but it is GB. Again the previous one. Similarly, after the terabyte, you are having 1 PB. PB stands for petabyte, and it is again equal to 1024 previous unit, that is your TB. Then you are having 1 EB. EB stands for exabyte. Okay, then it is equal to 1024 pp, again previous one. Now these days the hardest when which we are using is generally of 1 TB. You must know what we are using actually in the market, or what type of storage devices are available in the market. Then after that, 1 ZB. ZB stands for zettabyte, and which is equal to again 1024 EB. And last one we are having 1 YB, that is 1 yottabyte, which is equal to 1024 ZB. So this is how you have to remember all these terms or the units which are available for the computers. I hope this is clear to all of you. Now after this, next we are having is the parts of main memory or primary memory. Okay, now when we talk about primary memory or main memory, generally it is having 4 parts. Over here, as per your book, 3 parts are given. First is RAM, second is ROM, and third is cache memory. We are using generally one more term which is called as registers. Okay, registers are nothing but the memory of CPU itself, and it is also a type of main memory. So basically what we can say that we have all these four types of memory available: RAM, ROM, cache and registers. These all are your main memory. Okay, these are not your secondary memory, these are your main memory. Now what is the property of main memory? Whenever CPU needs any data, CPU will always interact directly with the any of the main memory. Means CPU will take information from any of these main memory, and then these main memory will in turn take the information from any of the secondary memory. So this is how the communication goes on. Okay, now in main memory, we, as I said, we have all these four varieties. So first is your RAM stands for random access memory. The data in this is volatile in nature. Volatile means it is not temporary, it is not permanent, it is completely temporary in nature. Okay, the data in RAM is volatile in nature. It means if you are storing any data, and suppose if light goes or by mistake your system is off, then whatever data you have stored in the RAM will be erased automatically. Then next we are having is ROM. ROM is read only memory. With the name only you can understand that once you have written the information, then you can read from that again and again. Okay, so generally it is used for storing any data on permanent basis. Then next we are having is the cache memory. It is faster than RAM. No doubt this is also volatile in nature. This is faster than RAM. So generally it is placed between CPU and RAM. Okay. Again I am repeating, generally cache memories are placed between the CPU and RAM. This is faster, but no doubt it is costlier also. Otherwise you will be having one doubt, no, that then why we are using RAM. So we are using RAM because RAM is cheaper than that of your cache memory. So a small amount of cache memory we are using, along with that we are using RAM memory also. And then CPU memory itself is called as the registers. Okay, then next we are having is, after that next we are having is the storage unit. Okay, now there are different types of storage unit. The very first thing is hard disk. You all are aware of all these terms. So next we are having is the hard disk. Okay, it is given over here, it is magnetic media. It means actually when we talk about hard disk, it is placed inside the CPU cabinet, and so many disks are there which is of magnetic material. Okay, in which we use a head, and head is means this head is actually writing or reading from the this particular disk. Okay, so this is what called as your hard disk. And so remember, so many disks we are having in one hard disk. Then next thing is your CD-ROM. CD-ROM is using optical media. Even your DVDs and your Blu-ray disc, these all are the discs which are using optical media for storing of the information. Okay, when we talk about their capacity, CD-ROM has less capacity or storage unit, whereas DVD is the storage capacity of DVD is far better than that of your CD-ROMs. Similarly, when we talk about Blu-ray disc, the storage capacity of Blu-ray is much more better as compared to that of DVDs. Generally, the capacity of CD-ROM is approximately 600 to 700 MBs only. But when we talk about DVD, it goes from 4 GB till near about 16 to 17 GB. Okay, and when we talk about Blu-ray disc, it goes from 25 GB till your 50 GB. So, according to your requirement, you have to choose whichever device you wanted to use. Then next is your pen drive. Very common term these days. All of you are using pen drives, and you know it is generally we are plugging this pen drive in the USB port. Very small in size, completely portable in nature, very reliable. We can store the information in that, as well as we can carry the data from one place to another place easily when we are using pen drives. Okay, what you have to understand, it is media is flash memory. Same thing we are using for solid state drive also. This is called as SSD. Okay, SSDs are nothing but the solid state drive. It is nothing but the new generation of the storage device, and now these days it is used in place of the hard disk. The size of this is smaller than that of your hard disk, and speed wise, if you will see, the speed of solid state drive is much more faster as compared to that of your hard disk. I hope this is clear to you all. Okay, then next is the type of buses that we are going to use in the system. Okay, now first of all, what is bus? Now see, in our previous session also we have discussed that these are nothing but the communication media. Okay, if you wanted to transfer your data or the address or the information from one part of the system to the other part of the system, that time these buses are responsible. These are nothing but the wires. Okay, these are the wires in the computer system which carry the information along with them. Now we have these four types of buses available with us. Okay, the very first type of bus is your data bus. With the name only you can understand that data bus will carry the data part. Okay, suppose if I wanted to send some information, some raw material from one place to another, let it be from the input device to the CPU, so that time data bus will be used. Then control bus, it actually control the overall flow of the information in the system. It means throughout the system how the information is going from one place to the another place will be controlled by the control bus. Then next we are having is the address bus. Again, with the name you can understand that address buses are carrying the address along with them. Okay, suppose we wanted to store any data in the storage unit, so data will be carried by the data bus, and the address where it is going to be stored will be carried by the address bus. Suppose you wanted to read some information. Okay, so control bus will carry the information or the instruction, that is read instruction, and address bus will carry the address of the information that we wanted to read. Then next we are having IO bus. IO bus, with the name only you can understand that it is input output bus. Input output buses are generally used for carrying the input and output in your system. Okay, it means all the input part and the output part will be carried by the IO buses. I hope these all points are clear to you, and I suggest you to go through your book and kindly read up to page number 10 of your book. Okay, if you have any doubt you can ask, you can contact me, but remember, try to go through all the points, all the topics, all the definitions up to page number 10. Underline whatever important things are there, and then let me know if you are having any problem. Thank you so much, and God bless you.